These are the 30 looks I created over 1 month using the same set of products, just in different combinations. If you want details about what they are and how I multitask with them, just keep watching. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to my second video actually, where I'm going to talk you through what's in my travel makeup bag. I figured it might be interesting for you guys to see what a makeup artist brings in her travel bag when she's trying to survive in the tropics. I'm going to be living in Cuba for the next few months with my boyfriend, who also happens to be an Australian filmmaker, and we are working on a project together about the social and political culture in Havana. It's a fascinating space. But I'm also a professional makeup artist by trade, and I've brought along just 25 products that I'm going to try to create a new look out of every single day for a month. So that's 30 looks in 30 days using just what's in here. Now, it's going to be a challenge because I didn't bring along any foundation. I brought just 2 lipsticks, but I figured, you know what, not everybody has a makeup kit with hundreds and hundreds of products, and I'm going to try to create looks that I actually would do on myself and break down the lessons in great detail for you guys. So get ready for a lot of talking, and let me just jump into what's in my kit now. But first, just a quick little disclaimer about my own style. I tend to fall towards the more natural end of the makeup spectrum, you know, all things being relative. I have a tendency to use my hands and fingers when applying products. I'm drawn to more subtle colors, and that works well for me when I'm on the road because I don't have the time or the space to carry loads of things around. But that's not to say I don't love a more glam look when I'm going out, or if I'm doing a shoot, or, you know, if a client requests it. And if your own preference is towards that kind of thing for whatever reason, you just like it, or you have issues with your skin, you know, that's totally cool, and I will have videos for you in the future. So for me, I brought loads of things that I could multi-purpose, and I'm going to focus on technique and show you how you can do a lot with relatively little. So I have 4 categories of products. I have complexion products, then I have eyes, cheeks, and lip products. I also have skincare and brushes, but I'm not counting that as part of my 25 because I'm just going to focus exclusively on makeup products. But I will quickly say something that we've all probably heard before, but great makeup really does start with great skincare. So it doesn't have to be fancy stuff. I'm just using this Eucerin Daily Moisturizer with an SPF of 30 because, you know, it's lightweight and it doesn't get tacky under my makeup. I'm actually wearing it right now, and yeah, it works just fine. But I should point out I have normal to dry skin, so obviously adjust your moisturizer according to your skin type. I also use this SPF 50 plus lip balm. It's just from the Cancer Council, and I'm actually wearing it right now. I don't have anything else on my lips except that. And then I have this brilliant under eye sunscreen, which is a really, you know, delicate area, and we don't think about protecting down there, but we should. And it's from Mecca Cosmetica, which is an Australian brand, and it's brilliant. It's got this little depuffing ball for like bags, and that's multi-purpose, so I love that in the mornings. I actually lived in Australia for a number of years, and I noticed that they're very vigilant about their sun care because they actually have a hole in their ozone layer. And you can really see the effects of the sun if you don't protect your skin. I could always tell which of my Aussie clients had been really meticulous in using their sun care and who hadn't, because honestly, even by their mid-20s, like people who hadn't been using sunscreen, I could already begin to see like these little sun-zapped lines starting up around the eyes and sunspots, and you know, the texture really changes. Yeah, sun care is really important. Moving on, I actually brought 7 complexion or face products. Like I said, I didn't bring any foundation. Now, that might not work for everyone, but I find that my skin behaves really well in humid weather because I guess it's dry and it helps to open up my pores a bit. But that's not to say that I can't get coverage when I need it using concealers and other products. So I rely on this Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Tan 07 to get my skin looking right almost every day, even at home. It's a pretty sheer coverage, but it works for me, and like I said, I build up coverage with a few of the other products that I brought along. It's great for a drier skin like mine because it's water-based. I did this training with Bare Minerals once where I was actually lucky enough to meet Leslie Blodgett, who started the brand. And anyway, it was explained to me that if you imagine your regular tinted moisturizer as a molecule, the way that they're formulated is that, you'll have your water in the center, and then you'll have oil and pigments that surround that. But this has actually been designed in the opposite way. So you've got your oil and pigments in the center, and then you've got water that surrounds that. So it's actually the water that hits your skin first, which I thought was kind of brilliant. Look, this isn't a sponsored post or anything, so I'm not going to carry on about this, but if you guys are interested, I'm going to post a link in the description box to this really cool video I saw once of it being dissolved in water, just to show you how that works. I also brought this tiny little sample size of the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer in the shade Sand, just for, weekend trips away from Havana, and just for like touch-ups when I'm on the plane and stuff like that. Now, if I ever do want to beef up coverage and set things down, I rely on this Bare Minerals original powder in the shade Medium Tan, and I'll just roll a little bit of that over my skin. But since the base skin product options I brought are largely lightweight, I brought a bunch of concealers to help me do, the more heavy lifting in terms of coverage. So I have my all-time favorite, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Ginger, which I use for under eye circles. I also brought along this Instant Age Rewind from Maybelline in the shade Medium for lighter and brighter coverage. I have the NARS Creamy Stick Concealer in the shade Medium Dark 1. It's called Biscuit. And I also brought along this Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Concealer in the shade SC5. Now, this can take a little getting used to because it's sort of like a thicker pan, like stage makeup, but this stuff can literally cover a tattoo. I had a training with them once where the artist actually did a tattoo cover-up demo, and I filmed it. So if you guys are interested, just leave me a comment and I'll try to dig it out on my phone and post it for you. But anyway, point being, I use this on kind of like a more pointed detail brush right on the blemish, and then I'll press it in with my finger to warm it up, and then it just disappears into the skin. So for eyes, I brought the most amount of stuff, 10 things. I have one eyeshadow quad. It's from Chanel in the shade Enigma. And it's really handy because it's got a light shade, 2 metallics, and a dark matte shade. I then have this ridiculously old little brow powder kit that I picked up from like a mall in Thailand. But the point of bringing this is that it's all dinged up and it's nothing precious, so I don't mind if I lose it when I'm on the road. But importantly, it has one matte brown powder and one matte dark brown powder. Even though they're designed for brows, so that means the powders are more tightly packed, I use them as eyeshadows as well all the time, and it's something that's multi-purpose for me. It's the perfect hack. But as brows are really important to me in getting my natural makeup look right, I actually brought along 2 other things that can help me out. So one is this absolutely brilliant Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil in the shade Dark Brunette, which I will talk through at length when I do a brow tutorial specifically. And the other one's just this cheapy CoverGirl eye and brow maker in the shade Midnight. And I actually find that the color works really well on black brows, like it's pretty subtle. I also have a pathetic looking remnant of a black eyeliner. I lost my other one somewhere on my way down to Cuba. Don't ask me how that happened, but so I have that. I have 2 liquid liners, one from Sephora, which is in a glitter black, and one that's just from Wet n Wild in like a plain black. It's just called Noir. I'll post specific tutorials on how to apply those in the future. I also have 2 caviar sticks from Laura Mercier, which I love as multitasking products on the road because they act as both a primer and a color, and you can just smudge it on with your finger and it doesn't require a brush, so that's perfect. One is in this blue shade called Sapphire, which I think is gorgeous. There, you can see that there. And you can smudge it out pretty easily. And then the other one is in this purple or like purpley burgundy shade called Aubergine. I have it on right now. And finally, I have my mascara, which is from Sunday Riley. It's called The Influencer, and it's just in your basic black. So for cheeks, I have 4 things. The most essential being this bronzer from Stila in the Stay All Day shade Medium. Now what I love about this is that it's absolutely flat and it has no sparkle whatsoever, and it has just the right hit of ash so that it works perfectly for a contour. Now when I say ash, I literally mean that it's got a hint of gray in it, and that works really well when I'm kind of contouring the hollows of my face and I need it to look like a shadow. If it was a truly, you know, orangey or sparkly bronzer, then it wouldn't really work for that, right? So hopefully that makes a bit of sense. I have the most amazing highlighter. This is the Living Luminizer from RMS Beauty, which stands for Rosemary Swift. She is the creator of the line, who I was actually also lucky enough to meet. God, I'm just name dropping like crazy. Anyway, she's actually Giselle Bundchen's makeup artist, and she wanted to create something that would, you know, capture that beautiful like Brazilian dewy glow, and this is it. It's coconut oil based, so it just melts into the skin beautifully, and actually like all the stuff from her line, as far as I understand, is coconut oil based and it's organic. So yeah, just brilliant little product. Finally, I have two blushes. This one is from NARS in a shade called Tau, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And then this pink one that I have is from a brand called House of Color from England, and this was actually specifically color matched to my skin, using a technique where they sort of read my skin's undertones like they would for a foundation match, and then picking a color that would balance out and complement my skin the best. I actually have a neutral skin undertone despite being Indian, which I think a lot of people might assume is, you know, more golden and warm, but it's a really case dependent thing. Like some Indian girls, for example, will have a lot more of an ash undertone to their skin, which would make their skin tone more cool. I can actually post a video about my color matching experience and about color theory in general if you guys are interested. Just leave me a comment and I'll work that one out for you in the future. Last we have lips, and speaking of color matching, I am obsessed with this Illamasqua matte red lippy in the shade Box. You know, I find that this is the perfect shade like of neutral cool red for me, even a little bit more perfect than Ruby Woo from MAC, which has a hit too much blue in it. You know what, I'll put this one on so you can see what I'm talking about. See how it makes my teeth look whiter and it looks like I've got like more rosiness in my cheeks? I didn't put on any other makeup, I just put on the lippy. So when you get that color match right, it really makes a difference. There are so many different types of red on the market, so if I ever do a color theory video, I will break it down there. But for now, let's just stick to basics, and speaking of basics, here's a real classic. This is a Lip Smacker Dr. Pepper lip balm, which I absolutely love because it, you know, it actually does deliver that red tint, and it's cheap as chips, and yeah, you can just throw it on without even looking in a mirror, and sometimes it just pulls a look together without trying really hard at all. Plus, I think my boyfriend really likes the taste. Okay, so another basic is this ancient Body Shop eye and lip black currant pencil. Like, they don't even make this anymore, and the point of these series of tutorials isn't so much about the product as it is about technique, as I've said, but I love just kind of throwing this on and smudging it on with my finger, so this one's always in my bag as well. And then finally I have this Liz Wautier nude shade in Gourmand Champagne, and I just find it's the perfect nude for me because it's got enough yellow, but it also has enough of a pink, so I find it just neutralizes out my lip tone perfectly. And there you have it, my 25 products that I'm going to be using over the next month to create a whole bunch of different looks for you guys. I will largely be going in the order that I have displayed here, so you know what to expect and can tune into specific episodes to see how I achieve the look. I hope you guys find these videos informative because I love educating my clients about how to do makeup and about the theory of makeup, really, because I find that, you know, once it's demystified, it becomes so much more easy and fun to play around with. So stay tuned for more tips and tricks from the road, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao for now. Bye.